This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Hello everyone, happy Friday! If you're watching us in the Pacific or in Los Angeles, magandang gabi, good evening to everybody. It is 9 p.m. in the evening. And if you're watching us in the Philippines, where I'm currently at, it is a beautiful, kind of very humid Saturday, and it's 12:01 p.m. So magandang tanghali sa inyong lahat. As always, I hope you're having a wonderful lunch with your friends, family, loved ones, and significant others. We are live. Finally, we're live, or I am live, on PHLB Radio, a Facebook page. And simultaneously, we are also airing live on PHLB Radio YouTube channel. So if you're not a subscriber yet, please do like, share, and subscribe. And we are live also on different platforms, namely Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and the newest edition from last year, fourth quarter of last year, is Amazon Music. And if you're using Amazon Fire TV, just look for PHLB Radio channel. If you're using Alexa, just say, Alexa, play PHLB Radio. And if you have any questions or comments or anything you want to know more about the station or our shows, just go into our website, which is www.phlbradio.com. Okay, just for clarification, PHLB Radio is based in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm normally doing my show in Los Angeles, California, where I'm based, and currently I'm in Manila, Philippines. Yan. So magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Happy viewing, and hello to our friends and supporters there in Doha, Qatar, and in Europe, as well as Middle East. So magandang tanghali sa inyong lahat. Good day and happy viewing to our team replay and team share. Yan po. Let's see. So happy everybody. So firstly, I'd like to apologize for not being able to go live. I think I passed 2 weeks because I am inundated with so many things here that I have to finish before I fly back to Los Angeles. There's so much things to do in the Philippines that I need to take care of, personal things, of course, and I'll give you some of those information when I have the videos, so at least you know what's keeping Kuya Josh busy while I am in Manila. Yan. So, let's see. So, happy viewing to everybody. Today, I decided to, during the Holy Week, before Easter, we did me and my group did a pilgrimage on some of the iconic and historical churches around Manila, and we decided to visit 7 of them. And one of the yung isang surprise po that I came into is this wonderful national shrine of Saint Thérèse of the Child Jesus, and this is located in Antipolo City, and this is something that I was not familiar with. So I'd like to share that with you. So we prepared videos as well as pictures. So it's not that far from Manila. Maybe it's like 30 minutes drive, and it's easy to commute or to get there through public transportation. And it's along Marcos Highway. I was surprised because I always passed through that, but I never knew that the national shrine and parish of the Saint Therese of the Child Jesus is located there. So I'd like to share that with you today, as well as my experience with Philippine General Hospital emergency. And I have to give some warnings as well as tips on what's happening, the scams that's happening here in Metro Manila. So at least for Filipinos abroad or even Filipinos here in the Philippines, we will be aware of the things we call it sindicato. So I'll share that with you on the later part of the show. And it's going to be an interesting show. So looking forward to everybody to join us today in this particular show. Okay, let's just put here. Ano ko lang dito, to make sure that I have everything that I needed. Okay, let's see. Okay, so what we're gonna do for now is the first part will take care of or will show you the video first that I took of the National Shrine of Saint Therese of the Child Jesus, or sometimes they call it Saint Therese of the Little Flower. So without much further ado, here's the video, and I'll just do the voiceover on the side, so at least you'll have a view of what's going on and things that's happening. Oh, we're showing the picture. Oh, that's the inside of the church. We'll show you first. This is the inside of the National Shrine of the Saint Therese of the Child Jesus. There's two videos we're gonna show you back to back, and then we'll go with the pictures. Okay, let's see. I think our back office is putting that together. Again, this is the National Shrine and Parish of Saint Therese of the Child Jesus. And of course, it's a Catholic church, and it's a well-known Catholic church located in Barangay Mayamot, Antipolo City, and it's in the city of Rizal. And of course, like what I said, it's along Marcos Highway. It is a growing center of devotion to Saint Therese or the Little Flower in the Philippines. And that's the entrance. What you're seeing right now is the entrance. And it belongs to the Diocese of Antipolo. The shrine was established in 2003, and of course, the feast day of the Saint Therese of the Child Jesus is every October 1st. And it was the church or the parish was elevated to a national shrine in 2026. So bagong-bago pa lang. Okay? The elevation to a national shrine means it's now officially recognized by the Catholic Church in the Philippines as a major pilgrimage site to its spiritual significance due to its spiritual significance and growing number of devotees. And if you're interested with the mass schedule, it's at 6 on weekdays, it's at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. during Monday to Friday. On Saturday, it's 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and it's already called anticipated. And what you're seeing right now is the facade of the church. On Sunday, it's a multiple masses from morning to evening from 6 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Yeah. So there you go. You're seeing, and then there's a lot of statues of saints in there, and different saints. Even Saint Carlo, the newly installed saint, is there too, right there. What is the spiritual significance? The shrine is known as a place of hope and healing, where many faithful come to pray for guidance and life decisions, family intentions, and personal struggles. When it was declared a national shrine, church leaders emphasizes it is a place of joy and rest for the weary and burdened.
Benefits on the chopping block. Alert wrong. Alert.
Let me get rid of some of this prompts coming in. So what you're seeing is the facade going into the church. And now you're seeing some of the apostles, the statue of the apostles. And the interesting thing is, okay, now you're seeing the church, right? And then later you'll see the museum of the Saint Therese of the Child Jesus. And if you're worried about parking, there's an ample parking space at the back of the church. So if people are bringing their vehicle, their private vehicle, no worries at all. There's ample parking behind the church. And like what I said, if you're commuting, it's really easy. It's along Marcos Highway on the way to Antipolo. There you go. This is the emblem that says National Shrine and Parish of Saint Therese of the Child Jesus and Diocese of Antipolo. And kudos to the management of the National Shrine. They allow us to do some videos inside the church as well. So maraming salamat po. When we went there, it was a quiet afternoon because the mass is about to begin in about half an hour. So they allow us to do some videos inside the church. There, this is how on the way out, you see that door, the curvings of the different saints and apostles as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful church, just like other churches that we have featured in this show. Now, I think the next video is the museum right beside, adjacent to the church or to the National Shrine is the Museum of Saint Therese of the Child Jesus, and that's the entrance to the museum. Okay, just a little background on Saint Therese of the Child Jesus. Her full name is Marie Therese Martin, and she was born January 2nd, 1873, and died September 30, 1897. And this is what you're seeing is the inside of the museum. She entered the Carmelite convent at age 15 years old and lived a hidden, simple life of prayer and sacrifice. Her spirituality teaches that holiness is found in doing small things with great love and trusting God completely and offering everyday sacrifices with humility. And she, of course, Saint Therese was canonized as a saint in 1925 and declared a doctor of the church in 1997 by none other than Pope John Paul II. And of course, Saint Therese is known as the patron saint of missions, florists, and those seeking simplicity and faith. As far as symbolism, roses, she promised to let fall a shower of roses from heaven, often depicted holding flowers and a crucifix. Her early life, Saint Therese was born, as I mentioned, January 2nd, 1873. She grew up in a loving and deeply religious family. However, her childhood was marked by early sufferings. One, her mother died when she was only 4 years old. Second, she became very sensitive and emotional. Third, she depended greatly on her older sisters. At age 14, during Christmas, Therese experienced what she called her Christmas conversion. She suddenly gained inner strength and decided to stop being overtly sensitive and to live for God with courage and love. This moment changed her life completely. Therese felt called to become a nun at a very young age. At just 15 years old, she asked special permission to enter the Carmelite convent, even appealed personally to Pope Leo XIII during a trip to Rome. She eventually entered the convent, choosing a hidden life of prayer. While in the convent or inside the convent, her life was quiet, ordinary, and filled with small daily sacrifices. She wasn't known for miracles or big achievements. Instead, she lived what she called the little way, meaning doing small things with great love, smiling even when it was hard, being kind to difficult people, offering small sufferings to God. She believed everyone or anyone could become holy this way. Therese suffered from tuberculosis in her final years. Her illness was painful and she experienced spiritual darkness, but she continued to trust God. She died at just aged 24 years old, on September 30, 1897, and saying, "My God, I love you." After her death, her writings were published as the story of a soul. This book, spread worldwide and touched millions. People were drawn to her simple message. Holiness is simple and possible for everyone. Legacy, he was canonized in 1925, declared Doctor of the Church by Pope John Paul II, and also known as the Little Flower. She promised, "I will spend my heart, I will spend my heaven doing good on earth. I will let fall a shower. I will let fall a shower of roses." And that her mantra. Again, "I will spend my heaven doing good on earth, and I will let fall a shower of roses." Now, what her story means, Saint Therese teaches that you don't need to be extraordinary to be holy. Loving in small action matters most. Trust God is more powerful than fear. Yeah, so that's what you're seeing is the little museum that they have inside this natural shrine. And hopefully, one of these days we can visit the real burial, as well as the relic of Saint Therese of the Child Jesus when we travel in our travels to Europe and in the coming years. So hopefully, again, this particular natural shrine is located in Antipolo City, and it's really like 15-20 minutes away from Metro Manila. And it's along Marcos Highway, and it's located at the city of Antipolo, and it is really worth the site. It became a national shrine back in 2026, so it's really elevated to a national shrine. And that's the little features that we have for Saint Therese of the Little Child of Jesus. Okay, let's see. Happy viewing to Hilda here in the Philippines. And Angelina Tabuena is watching. Hi, Angelina. Happy viewing to you. Ernie is watching as well. And again, the show now is back to our regular programming at 12 noon on Saturdays. So I know people are still watching and waiting for our 1 o'clock show. And the 1 o'clock now is on for Dear Kuya Josh on Sundays. And because of the time difference that was done in Manila or in the Philippines, rather. Okay, now the other features that I need to talk to you about, and this is more on a serious tone, would be things that's happening, and be careful, especially for the drivers and the commuters with all the scams that's happening. Firstly, it is announced, and just for everybody's knowledge, there is a prevailing curfew for children less than 18 years old in Manila. The city of Manila has a curfew of 10 p.m. in the evening. So what it means is you cannot be out, especially if you're 18 years old and below. You cannot be out wandering or going around Manila, the city of Manila, up to 8. The curfew is up 10 p.m. So just be careful, guys. Now, also, I am warning everybody, isang babala. There's this syndicate now of children or kids trying to have an accident, yung nagpapasagasa, kunyari. So I have a very, I would say, personal experience with that. A driver of ours was almost really a victim of that. So what happened is, be careful when you see kids in parking spaces, parking lots, and make sure na you honk, busina kayo, because some of them, they will deliberately try to cross while your vehicle is moving, so they could be in an accident. And of course, first thing that you need to do, as Kuya Josh tip, to you is every time you have an accident, whether in the city of Manila or anywhere else in the Philippines, you need to make sure you call a police officer or you call a police station to make sure you have a police people or police or people in authority to witness what happened and transpire para hindi kayo makuyog, hindi kayo ma-put into a compromising position. So it is important that because I guess because of the hardship on the monetary hardship and yung pinagdadaanan ngayon ng mga tao, especially yung mga taong nasa laylayan, people have this tendency now of fabricating or committing, I would say, not so wonderful things na hindi talaga ka nais-nais. So because imagine parents would normally throw their kids in front of vehicles so they would get into accident para mapagbayad ang nagmamaneho o yung nakadisgrasya. So just be careful, guys. So what I'm asking you is every time you see kids around your vehicle, that parang they have already a tendency na alam mong tatawid, just honk. It's not a sin. It's not a crime to honk your horn or yung magbusina to warn them that you're coming in or you're going through or passing through, because it's important that may warning for them para at least they're aware that you are aware that their presence is there. Okay, so that's what happened. So because yun nga, a driver was a victim of that na may yung patawid na siya, paalis na siya ng parking lot sa United Nations Avenue. Yung isang bata, whether they're pushed or it was deliberate, talagang parang talagang deliberately nasagasaan yung paa niya ng tires ng vehicle. So, of course, the first thing that what was done was call the police officer, and there are three policemen that came to the scene, and of course they were very nice. The kudos to Mayor Isko for having a good, I would say, a good army of police officers. Now they're very sensible, they're very disciplined, at the same time they're very professional, and they were handling things. Now, and of course, one of the things that I requested was for the child, instead of giving money, which was, I think that was the intention or alleged intention of the family. It was knowledge dictate or instinct dictate to take the little girl to the hospital, and the nearest hospital that was at the closest hospital to United Nations in Manila is Philippine General Hospital, and that is an eye opener for me. I was there from, I would say, 11 p.m. in the evening, and we were released at almost 4 a.m. the following day. It is such an experience, an eye opener for yours truly to witness such of the, I would say, not so wonderful sight to see, and we'll show you that picture. I never experienced something like that. I've been visiting hospitals in Manila or around the Philippines, and this was really an eye opener for me, because I would say it saddened me. It is such a sad look on the plight of the poor, yung mahihirap talaga, because you see patients as well as their family already on the floor, sleeping or waiting for their turn to be treated, for their turn to have X-ray, for their turn to see a doctor or a specialist. It hurts me, because is this how we are now as a nation, as a society, the way we treat the poorest of the poor? To my understanding, Philippine General Hospital is a public hospital, but and I would say they have funding from the government, especially during the last administration. It is really saddened. It is so sad to see such condition for the patient to be on the hall, and some of the patients are on the floor sleeping, and they used the waiting chairs as beds because it's a long wait. I still can't figure out why such wait on people to be seen. I guess I'm covering this today as a eye opener for powers that be to take into account. Nakakaawa po ang situation. Nakakaawa po to see patients and their families na nakahiga, nakahandusay sa mga floors, sa sahig, sa lapag ng ospital. And this happened on a weekday, and it happened sa madaling yung gabi na, yung masyadong gabi na. At pero I don't know what is the solution. What is glaring, but I will not show that picture. I took some picture of the people who are supposed to help this patient. They are sleeping while on duty. The sad part is, and of course, I'm not going to show that picture, but I have that because I don't want to put them in a compromising position. While some are working diligently, yung iba talagang on station, naka-station sila, and they're sleeping right there, naka-close eyes sila, hindi sila nagpapahinga, natutulog sila. I would assume there's naman rooms for them, but it is such a bad image, bad optic to see while on duty and they were sleeping while patients are patiently waiting for their turn to be either examined, to be interviewed, to have their test as well as to see the doctor or specialist. And we'll show that, and I'll describe that picture to you. Let's see. I have 6 photos of that, and you guys be the judge. Is this the sight you want to see when you go and visit the hospital? And this is really sad, really, really sad. And hopefully, powers that be in government, now that I know that the Philippine General Hospital is a public hospital. I visited this hospital before during the last administration. It wasn't like this, but now it was brought to my attention, and I saw it personally as well. And I saw it firsthand and experienced firsthand the sad situation that's ongoing right now at the Philippine General Hospital emergency area. And let's show a picture. And this is the entrance of that. You could see already people lying on the floors. They're using that while they're patiently waiting. All the thing. Can we make it slowly to show the picture? See, and because I want our audience, the viewers and our listeners, hopefully you get access to the show. You could see the flight of the poorest of the poor, because to my understanding, this is a public hospital, and this is where the poorest of the poor, or the people who cannot afford to pay, this is their hospital. And is this how we treat the poorest of the poor of the society? Masyadong nakakaawa ang situation po. It will really touch your soul. It will tug your heart to see, is this how we become? Is this how we are as a nation? Is this how we treat the poorest of the poor of our society? Nakakaiyak to be, sabi nga nila, mahirap maging mahirap. And this is really a testament na to see them na to be treated as such. Parang mahirap na nga, pero parang natatrample pa ang kanilang rights, natatrample pa ang kanilang ability to have a life, especially when they're sick. Okay, let's show the second slide. Look at that. Sa sobrang walang lugar, sa sobrang dami ng tao, at sa sobrang bagal ng treatment natutulog na yung mga pasyente, natutulog na yung mga taong nag-iintay. Hindi na sa chairs because there's no chairs. Hindi ka makaupuan. I was there for 4 hours and I cannot even sit. Walang maupuan. I was standing for 4 hours. Hindi ito concert that I have to line up for 4 hours. But look at that. They are sleeping on floors and they use cardboards. And this is this the sight that nakikita natin? I have never seen this in my life until now. It hurts me. Nakakaiyak talaga to see how the poorest of the poor are treated. Talagang masyadong aping-api, masyadong uh, I have no words to describe the feelings I had seeing this with my very eyes. Let's go for picture number 3. Just talking about it, it's just so hurtful. Let's see that other picture, Let's show that to our Flora Disaison is watching, the lovely wife of the owner Johan of Philippine of PHLB Radio. So I it's so hurtful to see how the flight of the poor in the Philippines. Okay, this is the triage area. It's kind of organized, but something needs to be done because yung ibang naandyan, of course, I'm not gonna show the pictures that I have. I have proof that some of them there are on that station, and the doctors are diligently trying to help patient, but some of them they're sleeping while they're on that site. I have those pictures, but I'm not gonna show them because not to embarrass them. But this is the triage area when you are called. Happy viewing sa iyo, Gilda Cooper. Yes, sabi niya, hi Josh, so sad naman. It is so sad, Gilda, if maybe when you come visit, this is something that it's an eye opener, especially us people who are abroad, who are based abroad, or and this is how our kababayans are experiencing. Diba? Parang mahirap na nga, lalo pang nagiging kaawa-awa at lalong ito ba yung healthcare na dapat nilang matanggap? Tapos it dawned on me, while people in government are having maletas of illegal wealth, yung mga corruption, and then you see this health, this service, this public service that should be given to our kababayans, and this is how it looks, this is how it's done. Look at that. Look at the pictures that you're seeing on screen right now. People on wheelchair, people even on a gurney, yung bed, yung bed na dala-dala nila. Talagang nakahandusay na sila on the floor, and there's cardboards. No one to sit. Wala man lamang bigay ng mga silya. So people are patiently waiting. What I could say though is the people who are the patients. They're very patient. They're not making a scene. Walang nagagalit, walang nagmumura. They're just and I talked to some people na talagang ganun daw pag mahirap ka. Talagang ganun daw ang serbisyo publiko for people who are not wealthy, who are considered klaylayan ng society. So sabi ko, how do you manage to be so patient and to be so understanding? And what was said and that kind of ministered to me, talagang ganun pag mahirap ka talagang tanggapin mo na lang. And it's not what we should be doing as a nation. Natanggapin na lang ang sitwasyon simply because and of course some of them 4 hours of me standing, and the best thing I could do is to interview some of the people waiting na how do they see, how do they feel about the situation. Sabi niya, kung yung mga alleged na ninanakaw ng mga politiko ay binibigay na lang sa public service, sa mga hospital, sa mga serbisyong publiko, then things could have been better a lot better than we are seeing now. Christopher Dave. Oh, si Dave. Ako, Dave is we just discovered each other that we are related, and he has a store. He is my go-to in Marikina Market. An amazing individual, amazing person, and I would like you guys, if you are doing your grocery, or you're doing your vegetable, or any palengke that you need, any stuffed gulay or vegetable fruits, maybe just ask Dave. It's a one-stop shop for me. And Dave, publicly, I'd like to thank you for always taking care of me and my and my palengke run. Happy viewing sa'yo. And he owns also a gotohan, I was told. I have yet to experience that. I have yet to try it. But people close to Marikina Market, look for Dave and his people. They are just amazing. His thing, his store. He has all this wonderful fresh vegetable for you to shop, and they do it with a big smile and amazing service. So maraming salamat. So going back to PGH, guys, come on, people who could hear this, people who are in power, please do something about it. It hurts us. Yeah, look at that. Look at the other picture. Diba? Ayan na. Nakikita na natin. Pictures will not lie. I have a video, but I'm not going to show that because I don't want to compromise some of the publicity as well as the privacy of of the people that were included in this picture. Kasi talagang it is a proof, a testament sa poor service that the poorest of the poor are getting from our for our people, especially itong mga mahihirap na sector of our society. Talagang nakakaawa. Let's show the last two pictures that I took. I didn't take as much kasi talagang nahirapan si Kuya Josh to even take pictures kasi talagang look at that. Look talaga, yung waiting area is like a hospital area na talaga. It's parang ano na talaga siya, hindi siya yung typical waiting area na people wait until ayan na, diyan na nakatambak. Diyan na yung mga pasyente, labo-labo na sila diyan. Imagine if there's a pandemic, imagine kung ganito ang treatment sa public hospitals. Imagine that. 'Di ba? Nakakalumo, nakabagbag damdamin that our people are going through this. It's just I am talagang nakakaiyak. Sabi nga ng nakausap ko doon while patiently waiting for us to be seen. Sabi nga, mahirap maging mahirap. Pero itong sitwasyon na to, lalong mas mahirap makita na mahirap na nga sila, pinahihirapan pa. Yun ang word na talagang nag-minister sa akin. Mahirap na nga kami, mas pinahihirapan pa kami. Is this how we are supposed to be treated? Is this how we are getting our public care, our health care? Imagine kapag wala kang insurance, wala kang perang pangbayad to get treatment, and this is supposedly a public hospital that caters to the poorest of the poor of the society, and this is the kind of service that they're getting. So I intentionally I intentionally put this on the show para to give to have an understanding of the plight of the poor here in the Philippines, in Manila, and to open our eyes that how lucky we are, especially if you have health insurance, if you have a capacity to pay, Imagine the treatment that these people are getting. So then you hear in the news all this all this corruption, all these things that the alleged corruption, and of course the money being wasted on things that are not necessary. Why cannot they give it to healthcare and to ameliorate things like this to give a better hope? Just it just saddens me, and for the Filipinos abroad, I guess, and then the Filipinos who are not going through this, count your blessings because you are so lucky not to go through this. But we need to pray harder for a better government, for a better leadership, for people to take notice on the flight of the poorest of the poor, the flight of our brothers and sisters who are going through this. Imagine having a family going through this, having a sick family, a sick member of your family going through this. May sakit ka na nga, lalo ka pang nasasaktan. Ay, no, anyways. That was my experience, and hopefully with this little show of ours, it would be an eye opener not only for a lot of us, especially Filipinos abroad, but also the powers that be, the officials, the healthcare officials here in the Philippines who are responsible for the public hospitals. Hindi pwede kasing excuse. A friend of mine who is in government said, talagang ganun. Ay, hindi pwedeng talagang ganun. Hindi pwedeng just because ganyan talaga eh. Hindi pwede. There's always a way of things getting improved or being improved. There's always a plan na to make it better. Hindi pwedeng because what is, then we just have to accept it. Ay, nako. Anyways, I will cut the show now. I know it's a little short this time compared to uh, my normal show, but we'll have more interviews in the future, and hopefully we could interview people in healthcare, some public official, so they could explain to us publicly why this situation is prevalent. I would assume it's not happening only in PGH, but it's happening in some other public hospitals. Ay, nako, sabi ni Gilda Cooper, a good friend of mine in Carson, California, thanks to Medicare for the seniors here. Totoo, because in other countries like the United States, healthcare is so good there. People who are sick, people, especially people of age, yung mga talagang may sakit, they're treated with dignity. They're getting care. Healthcare is big in different countries, and I hope sana we'll see a day. There'll come a day. There'll come a time when when situation like this will not see again. I think we need better leadership. I think we need better people who are compassion and really would have the desire to really help, to give the best service to our people, regardless of your social stature. Um, it's just one of those, and I know. Uh, anyways, so anyways, tomorrow we'll be live again with a different brand new show on Dear Kuya Josh. Maraming salamat, and I apologize na medyo itong last portion itong show natin for today is kinda medyo sad, medyo uh, uh, hopefully the intention is to have an eye opener kasi minsan especially people who are blessed, we have a tendency to forget how things are how things are with the other people, with our other brothers and sisters in society. It was my hope that it will in a way enlighten us that there are things that needs to improve, that there are things that we need to pray for, and there's things that we need to be knowledgeable or we need to understand more, and at the same time we need to be thankful and grateful that we don't go through that, but we need to find a way to find ways and means to help, whether it's through prayers or contribution or in for me, let's vote wisely. Let's vote for people who have the right heart, the right compassion, and the penchant to really give public service to the society and make it a better place. Anyways, I'm gonna close the show now. It's been an hour. Maraming salamat for tuning in. Maraming salamat for always supporting our show, whether through sharing or letting people know about Alam Mo Ba with Jush Andowitt. Maraming salamat po. And my advice every time I close the show is be kind. You can never go wrong with kindness. And any act of kindness that you do to people, it will come back to you in so many ways, in different times, different situation, different people. And when you wake up in the morning, be grateful and choose to be happy. Because if you choose to be happy, it kind of set the tone of the whole day, regardless of the challenges, problems, or any hurdles that will come your way that particular day. If you choose to be happy and you're grateful, things will be better and it will be a wonderful day regardless of what you're going through. With that, maraming salamat po. I'm hoping I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new show on Dear Kuya Josh at 1 o'clock if you're watching us in the Philippines. It's 10 o'clock in the Pacific, and it depends on where you are globally. And just check your local channel. But again, maraming salamat po. Happy viewing to inyo. And again, I apologize for the last portion of the show that made you a little downer, but it needs to be said, it needs to be done, it needs to be shown, it needs to be discussed. And with that, if I don't see you tomorrow, you have a wonderful weekend, whatever is left of it, and you have a wonderful, blessed, productive, and amazing, wonderful week next week. Maraming salamat po. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And until next show, goodbye for now, and happy viewing again to everyone. Bye, everybody.